000-030. Did you know that one of the most enduring and brutal systems of division in India, the caste system, was not only perpetuated but actively weaponized by the British Empire? It's a truth many history books gloss over, but it's crucial to understanding the deep scars left on Indian society. We're not just talking about the British ruling India. We're talking about them fundamentally rewriting its social fabric, intentionally creating fissures that persist to this day. This isn't ancient history. This is a calculated act of imperial engineering, and its consequences are still felt in every village, every city, every aspiration in modern India. 030-130. The story begins in the early 19th century. Lord William Bentinck, then Governor-General of India, was a man obsessed with order and control. He commissioned a series of surveys and censuses, ostensibly to understand the Indian population better. But these weren't neutral observations. They were tools of colonial administration, designed to categorize, rank, and ultimately to divide. And the primary tool they used, caste. Before the British, caste certainly existed. It was a complex, evolving social hierarchy. But it wasn't the rigid, codified, and politically charged instrument of division it became under British rule. The British, desperate to understand and govern a land so vastly different from their own, latched onto caste as a simplistic, though deeply flawed, framework. They took existing social distinctions and solidified them, giving them a permanence and a governmental weight they never possessed before. 130-230. One man who epitomized this approach was Thomas Babington Macaulay. In 1834, Macaulay arrived in India with a clear agenda. He famously declared that a single shelf of a good European library was worth the whole native literature of India and Arabia. His aim was to create a class of Indians who were English in taste, in opinions, in morals, and in intellect, brown sahibs, as they came to be known. To achieve this, he pushed for English as the medium of instruction in higher education. But more insidiously, his influence permeated the administrative policies that reshaped caste. The British administrators, often with little understanding of the nuances, began to codify caste identities. They created official lists, assigning specific occupations and social statuses to castes. This had a devastating effect. It froze social mobility, reinforcing existing hierarchies and making it incredibly difficult for people to escape their inherited status. 230-330. How did they do this exactly? Through the legal and administrative system. The British judicial system, when it came to disputes and land ownership, often relied on caste hierarchies to determine rights and responsibilities. For example, when it came to property inheritance or even the application of certain laws, caste often became the deciding factor. Furthermore, the colonial government established administrative categories based on caste, which then influenced everything from employment in government service to access to resources. They actively used caste distinctions to govern, to divide and rule. They created mechanisms that solidified and institutionalized what had previously been a more fluid, though still oppressive, social structure. Think about it. By making caste a matter of official record, of legal consequence, they gave it a power it never truly held under indigenous rule. They turned a social system into a bureaucratic straitjacket. 330-400. The legacy of Macaulay's caste war is not a footnote in history. It is a gaping wound that continues to bleed. The British didn't just rule India. They engineered its divisions, leaving behind a society fractured by the very categories they solidified. And as we look at India today, grappling with the persistent inequalities and entrenched prejudices, we must remember that these were not inevitable outcomes. They were the deliberate policies of an empire designed for control, and they demand our honest reckoning. The foundations of modern division were laid in the archives of empire,